Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel. If you want to speak English with confidence, if you are preparing for a job interview, or if you become nervous every time you face an important situation, then today's story is for you. Watch this story until the end. Because one simple answer can change a person's future forever. So, let's begin. Ryan was 24 years old. He had finished college 1 year ago. Since then, he had attended many job interviews. Every interview ended the same way. We will contact you. But no one ever called. Ryan was intelligent. He worked hard. He knew the subjects. Still, he failed every interview. One Monday morning, Ryan received another email. Congratulations. You have been selected for the final interview. Ryan smiled. This is my chance. He immediately told his mother. She hugged him. I know you can do it. His father smiled too. We believe in you. Ryan nodded. But deep inside, he was scared. Very scared. That night, he could not sleep. He kept thinking. What if I forget everything? What if they laugh at me? What if I fail again? His heart was beating fast. The next morning, Ryan went to a nearby cafe. He wanted to relax. He ordered a cup of coffee. While waiting, he noticed an old man sitting alone. The man was reading a newspaper. He looked calm, peaceful, confident. After a few minutes, the old man looked at Ryan. You seem worried. Ryan smiled politely. A little. The old man laughed. No. Not a little. A lot. Ryan laughed too. You are right. I have a job interview tomorrow. I always become nervous. I know the answers. But when I enter the interview room, my mind becomes empty. The old man folded his newspaper. I understand. I had the same problem many years ago. Ryan looked surprised. Really? The old man nodded. Yes. I also failed many interviews. Ryan leaned forward. What changed? The old man smiled. I stopped trying to impress people. Ryan looked confused. What do you mean? The old man took a sip of his tea. Most people enter an interview thinking, I must be perfect. I must not make any mistakes. I must impress everyone. That is the biggest mistake. Ryan listened carefully. The old man continued. Interviewers are not looking for perfection. They are looking for honesty. They want confidence. They want someone who can stay calm under pressure. Ryan remained silent. Every word touched his heart. The old man asked. What is your name? Ryan. I'm David. It is nice to meet you. Ryan smiled. Nice to meet you too. David looked at him. Tell me something. If I ask you, who are you? What will you say? Ryan answered quickly. My name is Ryan. David shook his head. No. I didn't ask your name. Ryan became silent. David smiled. You see. Sometimes. The first answer is not the best answer. Ryan thought for a moment. David continued. Tomorrow. Before answering any question, take one deep breath. Smile. Think. Then answer. Silence for 2 seconds is better than speaking the wrong words. Ryan nodded slowly. For the first time, he felt a little lighter. David stood up. He placed some money on the table. Then he looked at Ryan one last time. Remember, confidence is not speaking fast. Confidence is staying calm. And never forget, one honest answer can change your future. David walked away. Ryan watched him leave. He did not know why. But those words stayed in his mind. The next morning, Ryan woke up early. He wore his best suit. He looked into the mirror. Instead of saying, "I hope I don't fail," he smiled and said, "I will simply be myself." He picked up his file, took a deep breath, and walked toward the company. Little did he know that today's interview would change his life forever. Ryan reached the company building. It was taller than he expected. Many people were already waiting in the lobby. Some were checking their resumes. Some were practicing answers. Some looked confident. Others looked just as nervous as Ryan. Ryan sat quietly. He remembered David's words. Take a deep breath. Don't try to be perfect. Just be honest. He closed his eyes. He took one slow breath. Then another. His heartbeat became slower. A receptionist smiled. "Good morning. May I have your name, please?" "Ryan Parker." She checked her list. "Please take a seat. Your interview will begin in 15 minutes. Ryan thanked her. As he waited, he noticed a young man sitting beside him. The man looked very confident. He wore an expensive suit. He smiled proudly. "First interview?" Ryan nodded. "Yes." The man laughed. "This is my 7th interview this month." Ryan looked surprised. "You must have a lot of experience." The man smiled proudly. "I always impress HR." Ryan became curious. "Then why haven't you been selected yet?" The man stopped smiling. For a few seconds, he had no answer. Then he said quietly, "I don't know." Ryan realized something. Looking confident and being confident were not always the same. Just then, the receptionist called. "Mr. Ryan Parker." Ryan stood up. His hands felt cold. But he remembered. Confidence is staying calm. He smiled. Then walked toward the interview room. He gently knocked on the door. "May I come in?" A voice replied. "Please come in." Ryan opened the door. 3 interviewers were sitting across the table. A woman in the middle smiled warmly. "Good morning." Ryan smiled back. "Good morning. Please have a seat." "Thank you." The interview began. The first interviewer asked, "Tell us about yourself." Ryan almost gave the same old answer. "My name is Ryan." But then, he remembered David's question. "I didn't ask your name." Ryan paused. He smiled. "My name is Ryan Parker. I recently completed my college education. I enjoy solving problems. I like learning new skills. I believe every challenge teaches us something. I may not know everything today, but I learn quickly." The interviewers nodded. The woman wrote something on her paper. The second interviewer smiled. "That's a nice answer." Ryan felt more relaxed. The next question came. "What is your biggest weakness?" Ryan became silent. He knew many people answered. "I work too hard. I am a perfectionist." But those answers never sounded honest. He took one deep breath. Then he answered. "I become nervous in important situations. For a long time, I believe that was my biggest weakness. But recently, I started practicing how to stay calm. I know improvement takes time. But every interview teaches me something. I don't hide my weakness. I work on it. The room became silent. One interviewer smiled. Another slowly nodded. Nobody looked disappointed. Instead, they looked interested. Ryan suddenly understood. Honesty was working. The third interviewer leaned forward. Good. Now let's ask something different. If you make a mistake at work, what will you do? Ryan answered without fear. I will accept my mistake. I will inform my manager. I will fix the problem. And I will make sure I never repeat the same mistake. The woman smiled. Excellent. For the first time, Ryan wasn't trying to sound perfect. He was simply telling the truth. And somehow, that made him feel stronger than ever. Then, the interviewer opened another file. She looked at Ryan. This next question is the most important one. Ryan took another slow breath. He had no idea that the next answer could decide everything. The woman looked directly at Ryan. She smiled politely. This is our final question. Ryan nodded. I'm ready. The room became completely silent. Then she asked, why should we hire you? Ryan had heard this question before. In every previous interview, he had given the same answer. I am hardworking. I am honest. I will do my best. But today, he did something different. He stayed quiet for 2 seconds. He smiled. Then he answered calmly. You should hire me. Not because I know everything, but because I never stop learning. If someone knows more than me, I will learn from them. If I make a mistake, I will accept it. If I don't know an answer, I won't pretend. I will ask. I believe honesty, learning, and responsibility are more valuable than pretending to be perfect. Nobody spoke. The interviewers looked at each other. The woman smiled. The second interviewer slowly closed his notebook. Then he asked, who taught you to think like this? Ryan smiled. An old man I met yesterday. He said something I will never forget. What did he say? Ryan answered softly. He said, confidence is not speaking fast. Confidence is staying calm. The interviewers smiled. The atmosphere became much lighter. The third interviewer stood up. He walked toward the window. Then he turned around. I have one last situation for you. Imagine. You are working here. Your manager asks you to finish an important report today. But at the same time, a customer needs your help. What will you do? Ryan thought carefully. He didn't answer immediately. Then he said, first, I will understand which task is more urgent. If the customer has an emergency, I will help the customer. If the report has a strict deadline, I will inform my manager. I believe communication solves many problems. I will never disappear without informing anyone. The interviewers nodded. The woman smiled proudly. That's a practical answer. The interview ended. Thank you, Ryan. It was nice meeting you. Ryan stood up. Thank you for your time. As he reached the door, the woman called him again. Ryan. He turned around. Yes, ma'am. She smiled. You were very nervous when you entered. Ryan laughed softly. Yes. I was. But now, I feel much better. She nodded. Do you know why? Ryan shook his head. No. Because you stopped trying to impress us. You simply became yourself. Ryan smiled. Those words sounded familiar. Almost the same words David had told him yesterday. Ryan thanked everyone once again. Then he walked out of the interview room. Outside, he took a long, deep breath. He wasn't thinking about getting the job anymore. For the first time, he felt proud of himself. He had answered honestly. He had stayed calm. He had faced his fear. As he walked toward the elevator, someone called his name. Ryan. He turned around. It was the receptionist. "Excuse me. The HR manager would like to meet you once again." Ryan's heart started beating faster. He wondered. Did I forget something? Did I make a mistake? Without knowing the reason, he walked back toward the HR office. And what he was about to hear would completely change his future. Ryan knocked on the HR office door once again. "May I come in?" The HR manager smiled. "Of course. Please sit down." Ryan quietly sat in the chair. His mind was full of questions. Did I say something wrong? Was there a problem? The HR manager noticed his nervous face. She smiled. "Relax, Ryan. You're not in trouble." Ryan gave a small smile. "Thank you." She opened a file. "Ryan. I've been interviewing people for more than 15 years. I've met thousands of candidates. Some had excellent grades. Some had years of experience. Some spoke very confidently." She paused. "But today, you reminded me of someone." Ryan looked surprised. "Really?" She nodded. "Yes. My younger brother. He was intelligent. But every interview made him nervous. He believed he wasn't good enough." Ryan listened carefully. He kept comparing himself to others. One day, he stopped trying. He gave up. Ryan lowered his eyes. Those words felt personal. Because he had almost done the same thing. The HR manager continued. "When you honestly admitted your weakness, I knew something." Ryan looked at her. "What?" She smiled. "You are teachable." Ryan looked confused. "Teachable?" "Yes. A company can teach skills. We can teach software. We can teach systems. We can teach new technology. But we cannot teach honesty. We cannot teach attitude. We cannot teach responsibility." Ryan remained silent. Every sentence stayed in his heart. The HR manager leaned forward. "Do you know why many candidates fail?" Ryan shook his head. "They try to become someone else. They memorize perfect answers. They speak without thinking. They hide their mistakes. They believe HR wants perfect people." She smiled. "We don't. We want real people." Ryan slowly nodded. Everything David had said was becoming true. Then the HR manager asked, "Can I ask you one personal question?" "Of course." "What were you thinking before entering this building today?" Ryan answered honestly. "I thought I would probably fail again." She smiled. "And yet, you still came." Ryan nodded. "Yes. Do you know what that means?" Ryan stayed quiet. "It means you are brave. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite fear." Ryan smiled. No one had ever explained confidence like that. The HR manager closed the file. "Ryan. I cannot officially tell you the final result today. But I can tell you one thing. You left a very positive impression." Ryan thanked her sincerely. As he walked toward the exit, she called him one last time. "Ryan." He turned around. Never lose today's honesty. It will open more doors than talent alone. Ryan smiled. I won't forget. Outside the office, Ryan felt lighter than ever. Even if he didn't get the job, he had learned something priceless. 4 months. He had believed interviews were about perfect answers. Now he understood. They were about trust. As Ryan walked out of the building, he noticed someone sitting on a bench across the road. It was David. The old man was reading another newspaper. Ryan quickly crossed the street. Mr. David. David looked up and smiled. I was wondering when you would come. Ryan laughed. Were you waiting for me? David smiled. Maybe. So. How was the interview? Ryan sat beside him. It was different. For the first time. I wasn't pretending. David nodded proudly. And how did that feel? Ryan smiled. It felt peaceful. David laughed. Exactly. When you stop acting, you start connecting. Ryan looked at him. I still don't know if I got the job. David folded his newspaper. Sometimes. The biggest success isn't getting selected. It's becoming the person you were afraid to become. Ryan looked at the sky. For the first time in many months, he believed in himself. Just then, his phone vibrated. An unknown number was calling. Ryan looked at the screen. His heart started beating faster. He slowly answered the call. Hello. The voice on the other side said. Good afternoon, Ryan. This is the HR department. Ryan held his breath. Good afternoon, Ryan. This is the HR department. Ryan stood completely still. David quietly watched him. Ryan answered. Good afternoon, ma'am. The HR manager smiled through the phone. We are happy to inform you. You have been selected. For a few seconds, Ryan could not speak. His eyes filled with tears. Ryan. Are you still there? He smiled. Yes. I'm just very happy. The HR manager laughed. We can understand. Please report on Monday at 9 a.m. Our team is excited to work with you. Congratulations. Thank you so much. The call ended. Ryan slowly lowered his phone. He looked at David. I got the job. David smiled warmly. I knew you would. Ryan laughed. How? David stood up. Because today, you didn't fight the interview. You enjoyed the conversation. Ryan smiled. I think you're right. David placed a hand on Ryan's shoulder. Never forget this day. One interview gave you a job. But confidence will build your career. Ryan nodded. I'll remember. They shook hands. Then David walked away. Ryan wanted to ask him something. But before he could, David disappeared into the crowd. Ryan searched everywhere. Left. Right. Near the road. Near the bus stop. He was gone. Ryan smiled to himself. Thank you. He whispered softly. Monday arrived. Ryan woke up before sunrise. This time, he wasn't nervous. He was excited. He wore the same suit. But today, it felt different. Not because the suit had changed. Because he had changed. When he entered the office, the receptionist recognized him. Congratulations, Ryan. Welcome to the team. Thank you. She gave him an ID card. Then she showed him around the office. Everything looked new. New desks. New people. New opportunities. After a few minutes, Ryan met his manager. A friendly man named Mr. Wilson. He smiled. "Welcome aboard. We're happy to have you." Ryan replied. "Thank you, sir. I'll do my best." Mr. Wilson smiled. "I know you will." The first day was busy. Ryan learned new software. He met different teammates. He asked many questions. Earlier, he would have been afraid to ask. Now, he wasn't. Whenever he didn't understand something, he simply said, "Could you explain that again, please?" Nobody laughed. Instead, everyone appreciated his honesty. By the end of the day, one colleague smiled. "You learn very fast." Ryan laughed. "I ask a lot of questions." His colleague smiled. "That's exactly why." Weeks passed. Ryan improved every day. He completed projects, solved problems, helped teammates. One afternoon, Mr. Wilson called him into his office. Ryan wondered, "Did I make a mistake?" He entered calmly. "You wanted to see me, sir." Mr. Wilson smiled. "Yes. I've been watching your work." Ryan listened carefully. "You know something interesting?" "What, sir?" "You weren't the smartest candidate we interviewed." Ryan smiled politely. "I know. But you've become one of our most valuable employees." Ryan looked surprised. "Really?" Mr. Wilson nodded. "Because you never pretend. You listen. You learn. You improve. And people trust you." Ryan thanked him. As he left the office, he remembered David's words again. Confidence is staying calm. Months later, the company hired new employees. One young candidate looked terrified. His hands were shaking. Ryan smiled. He walked over. "I know how you feel." The young man looked surprised. "You do?" Ryan nodded. "Very well." Then Ryan said the exact same words. The words that had changed his own life. Take a deep breath. Don't try to be perfect. Just be honest. The young man smiled. A few moments later, he walked into his interview with confidence. Ryan quietly looked toward the window. Sometimes, a few kind words can travel from one person to another and change many lives. That day, Ryan finally understood. Success isn't about having all the answers. It's about having the courage to be yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video. Share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more easy English stories. See you in the next video. Take care. And keep learning English every single day.